The clock strikes 12, I step into the haze. Whispers call me from 1,000 graves. Shadows dance in corners out of sight. I chase the unknown deep into the night. I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. A flicker, a chill, a shadowed hand. The unseen lingers where I stand. Through creaking doors and empty halls, I hear the echoes of forgotten calls. I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. And the eyes that watch from a place unreal, a touch so cold it makes you feel they're near but hidden, veiled in shade. I walk with ghosts I hunt the fear you dare not face. In the darkness I embrace the trace. The dead, they speak their secrets shown. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown.
Little pig, let me in.
Hey everybody, welcome to. Oh wait, I forgot. I had this whole new thing I wanted to do. Just be me. You know how it is. So let's try this again. me. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, monsters and creatures of all ages and from all walks of this life around this world. Welcome to another episode of Bizarre and the Unknown. I'm your host, E.D. Testerman. Today we're going to talk about something that I like a whole lot, but sadly during my time over there, I didn't get a chance to look into this as much as I would like to have. Now, some of this stuff we've heard of, some of this stuff we have not. So today we're going to talk about the Japanese yokai. This is a very interesting subject. It's another one of those humans that became demon types deal. Some of them were straight demons. So we're going to look into. There's many different types of yokai. So we're going to kind of look into them, and some as we go through these, you're going to hear some familiar ones that you may know. Oops, I forgot to do something real quick. Oh, that's not it. That's it. So as we look into the yokai, which is the Japanese form of demons, we're going to take a look at see what these things are about. And I want to give a shout out to Japanese objects. They're the ones that help provide the information that I was needing to do this show. We're going to try to hit 30 of them. I've got scheduled to hit 30 of them, so hopefully that's what we can get to. So as we sit there and go through this, I want to kind of give you a little bit of a history of these yokai. And yokai existed in Japanese folklore for centuries, but was during the Edo period, 17th through the 19th centuries, that they began to be widely seen in art. It is no coincidence that there was a rise to the forefront of artistic culture began at the time when the printing press and publishing technology became widespread. So most of the artwork that we know of comes from the I just said it, Edo period, because of that. But these things have been talked about way, way further back than that. And one of the oldest examples of a yokai art was the Hayaki Yagyo Yu, a 16th century scroll that portrayed a pandemonium of Japanese monsters. This formed the basis for the Japanese first definitive encyclopedia of the yokai. This is something that I want to get transcribed into English, but I would love to get this book. Through the work of the 18th century printmaker Toriyama Shikin, using the newly developed technologies of woodblocking printing, Shikin was able to mass produce yokai illustrations in his own catalogs of the Monsters Parade. Hey, Robin, how many yokai are there? The series was known as Gazu Hayoki Yagyo series, meaning Illustrated Night Parade of the 100 Spirits. Although in this context, 100 just means many. These three texts illustrate more than 200 of these Japanese demons, each with its own brief description and commentary. So there is a lot. I mean, a lot of yokai. And let me get some artwork up here real quick. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Scroll down here. Open that up. Scroll all the way down here. The first one we're going to talk about is the Amabi. This three-legged aquatic creature might be an unlikely candidate in a global fight. Never mind. I meant to leave that part out. The first and the only recording sighting of an Anabi was documented by a government official in the mid-19th century. According to his report, he ventured off to sea to investigate the source of a strange light. When he approached the light, an Anabi emerged to inform him of a bountiful harvest that would last for 6 years. However, should disease occur, one can keep disease and calamity at bay by simply sharing an image of its likeness with others, which prompted Twitter users in Japan to share images of a Anabi with the hashtag Anabi Challenge. In fact, the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare has even used images of the Anabi in its initial campaign in the fight against the certain Black Plague of the 20th century came out. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. So this is a newer one. This is something you do see through other cultures as well. But in Japanese, like I said, recent times, it's this one here, the Anapi. Get back into my pictures here. This next one is a funny one. I mean, this thing is goofy as goofy can get. Uh-oh. Did I not upload that? I know I uploaded that. Okay, give me a second, folks. I've got to figure out why that's not pulled up here. That's this guy here. The Tomorrow Koshi no Noah Bake. Historically, anything weird or wonderful was fair game for the yokai transformation. This includes humble crops. Corn was introduced to Japan by the Portuguese. Unfamiliar with this plant in their native land, the Japanese people began to fantasize about the strangely shaped crop. Now, blue and rainbow colored rainbow corns, hairy corn molds, and various mutations are prized delicacies in the communities that eat them. But in ancient Japan, having a weird looking corn might have been mean it was haunted. The Tomorrow Sokshi no Obake, a corn ghost, was typically considered a harmless spirit manifestation. There's even one story that a man's beloved pet chicken died, and a chicken shaped Tomorrow Koshi no Obake grew in on its grave. What do you guys think about that one? We got any corn farmers in here today? I'm kind of interested. You know, I've spent many a lifetime in a cornfield. If I ran into something like that, I'd probably crap my pants. You know, seeing a ear of corn come to life. I don't know about you guys, but that is not one I thought would be a yokai. Honestly, that one there threw me off. I did not know about that one, so I had to put that in there because I was like, this is freaking funny. But it shows you at the same time, this shows you what your fears can manifest. And we have to be careful with our fears because of what we can manifest. Is this what happened here? This is a possibility. Is it just people's imagination? Also a possibility. This next one here, I definitely would not want to run into. And that's a Tatsu ga Mushi. This thing is an ugly looking critter. I don't know what y'all think about that. Man, is my chat not working? Am I still live? It says, okay, it says I'm live and recording. Oh, there it is. As Robin said, sounds legit. Yeah, this thing is freaking weird. Hey, Bounty. Sometimes a yokai is blamed for things that are now well known to be earthly, but where accessible in their heyday. One example of such yokai is the Tasu Gamushi. These yokai were described as orange in larva form, but bright red with impressive pincers and formidable mandibles for drinking blood as mature yokai. These are insect styles. The Tatsu Gamushi may be just a yokai, but the illness they are said to have caused are very real. Transmitted by actual bugs, not spiritual ones, the black lesions are attributed to the Tusi Gamushi were actually discovered to be a form of uh, thyroid. I can't say. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to jack that word up. I'm hillbilly. I don't speak foreign very well. Not as much as I used to. Come on, you stupid thing. Work with me here. This thing is lagging way too bad. Yep, that one there, Kyle. Typhoid. Why can't I think of that? Typhoid. Why would that not pop into my head? The form of typhoid disease. It just popped in my head. It is a nasty looking dude, ain't it, Bounty? Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that thing. I mean, the one there at the bottom left, that's the larva state, and then the adult state's the one there on the left, the adult state. Man, yeah, I don't want to jack with that thing. I might have to get a hold of Spartan Army and Leonidas to help me fight that thing off. I mean, no, we're good. We're good. But I'm kind of curious. Has anybody spent some time in Japan? Because that's one thing I've never seen it. Although that is a centipede to me. I've seen centipedes that kind of look like that. And I can tell you, some centipedes over in Japan are nasty critters. And they put on one hell of a bite. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Looks like something climbed out of my truck door. That could have, Kyle. Did you introduce these things, man? This one's a cute little critter. It can't be all that bad, can it? The Kadoma. Something this cute can't be that evil, is it? Kadoma spirits live in trees deep in the woods. They rarely come out to play, but can be heard as echoes that seem to take a little too long to repeat. Kadomas are nurturing spirits, imbuing the land around their trees with natural splendor. However, their life force is tied to the trees they inhabit. So if the tree is cut down or damaged, so are the Kodoma. Yeah, Casper. So is the Kodoma. For these reasons, villages with Kodoma inhabited trees often tie protective ropes around the trees, is what you're seeing right up there, that deal, but that protective rope. Um, to mark it as sacred, appearing as lights or little humanoids when visible. The Kodoma were made iconic by the film Princess Mononoke. Mononoke. I'm wondering if that's where Casper came from, honestly. I mean, that's a cute little dude. But, I mean, once again, that's a type of another supernatural entity that lives in trees. And we quite often talk about the Fae, because that's what we deal with over here. Um, that one just looks sad, poor little dude. Yeah. They used to put centipedes around things they did not want me to bother when I was little. Yeah. I had a Marine that got the head of a certain little area bit by a centipede. Hey, Kauai. Hit or bit on the head of a certain little area while we were in Japan. Man, you talk about screaming. He screamed in pain so bad they had to rush him. That thing swole. It was bad. It was bad. And but yeah, these little things here. I mean, this is once again this. I mean, we call them, like I said, we call them phase here. But this is yet another supernatural entity that's tied to nature and living in trees. This is not one that was human and came to life as a yokai. This is a straight nature yokai. Yeah, poor dude. He was a boot too when it happened. This one here, this next one we're about to talk about, I got a feeling Roxanne has probably been to Japan. And makes me wonder because of what we're about to talk about here. Let me find the image. Where did the image? Oh, there he goes. Roxanne, did you let your cats loose in Japan? The Raju. The Raju. I'm just kind of wondering. Well, you're the cat lady, Roxanne. I was wondering if you'd been to Japan. The thunder beast and animalistic embodied of lightning used to be not only one of the most well recognized yokai, but one of the most feared. They took many forms: a dog with four hind legs and two tails, a chimera, weasels, even dragons. It was believed that they rode down on a lightning bolt and took to destroying the surroundings upon arriving on Earth. In the 20th century, scientists uncovered more about the sky and the origins of lightning, leading to the Raiju falling out of popular yokai canon. Until that time, it was believed that the naughty little Raiju would be cast out of the sky and hide in human belly buttons to avoid punishment, leading to the superstition of covering one's stomach during a thunderstorm. Hey, scared silly. I am. I have to admit it. I am too. Yes, you're right. You're right. That one could be me. I got a better one for you, Roxanne, here in a little bit. So, during a thunderstorm, you'd see people covering their belly buttons. Is because these Raijus. Yeah, belly lint. There you go. Yeah, they were afraid that the Raijus would hide in their belly buttons. So it's weird how something Thundercats. Oh, um, but it's funny how some of this stuff brings in common practices amongst civilizations and cultures. And we see the little bitty things like this. It hides in here, so you covered this up. It's a weird practice, but it makes sense. And for people who don't understand certain things from time to time, that would fit in there. I gotta find a picture of this next one here. The Ikihiro. This is one of those that was humans before it became a yokai. What about a ghost of a person who is still living? These are known to come out of people while they sleep. It wouldn't let me upload the full image, so I had to get this part. In the full image, she's protruding from a sleeping woman. They are called Ikihiro, a unique yokai that manifests as an out-of-body spirit. The owner usually comes to have an Ikihiro during a period of extreme emotion, which might range from anything to a near-death experience to intense passions. So you can tell, even back in these days, they were having out-of-body experiences. So, what does that tell you there? Whenever we get told that these things, this is just in your head, it's make-believe, blah, 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 blah. They were recording this back in ancient times, and in Japan, they were calling them yokais. So if they were having that then and we're still having it now, how is the scientist going to sit there and tell you, that's just your imagination? They were doing it back then. They wrote about it back then. There has to be something to these out-of-body experiences that they're talking about. I don't know how you guys feel about it. For me, I'm going, maybe we're not as much of a conspiracy theorist as you think we are, or jacked up in the head as you claim we are. They're even writing about it in Japan back in these days. These yokais aren't necessarily dangerous, but might be put the person they belong to in some unwelcome situations with friends and neighbors. Ikihiro, or of a woman deeply in love, were said to haunt the object of their affection to madness, while those of people seeking revenge tormented their target. So you can have an out-of-body experience. What was that? Dream walking. It's very much like dream walking, where you can go and mess with somebody in your dream state. So this type of yokai covers two different things we talk about quite often: out of body experiences and dream walking. So if they were talking about this stuff in ancient Japan, there's got to be something to it, and the ability to be able to do that stuff, got to be something there, because even they were talking about it. You know, messing with the haunting a lover, that they're so madly in love with because they can't stand not being with them, or wronged by somebody, so you go and torment them, much like dream walking, folks. And just like an out of body experience, they're seen hovering over their own body. So this yokai covers both of those. There's got to be something to that stuff. I don't know your guys' thoughts on that, but it makes you think, man. It really makes you think. There it is. This next one is a Koza Mibo. How would you like to run across this thing? This thing to me looks a lot like a ghoul, pale crawler. Very similar, not in a lot of ways, but similarity wise. Some yokai are just like us. The Kozamimbo might just seem like an adult old monk wandering in the rain until travelers get a closer look. This yokai acts like humans, even begging for alms to the same way an autistic Buddhist might. Despite their frightening appearance and suspicious activities, wandering on empty mountain roads in the dark, in the rain, they are not a threat. These yokai are closely linked to supernatural mountain pilgrimages, or Omari, prefecture, and are best viewed as fellow travelers. Yep, that's a new look for me. Yeah, Bounty. That one there definitely has the sadness to it. Yeah. But I mean, this thing, it's gauntly. It's um I just forgot the word where you're starving. Malnutritioned. Skin pulled in tight to it. And it's said to be a wandering person on a pilgrimage, often begging for stuff. And I'll be honest, I never ran into one of these when I was in Japan, and I've walked a lot of mountains in Japan. I loved it up in them areas. So it makes you wonder if what these things are weird. I'm kind of glad. I mean, even though it's not emaciated, yep. I'm kind of glad it's not an evil one. But this next one here, this is going to be an interesting one, because this one's going to make you think, especially if you live in the woods like I do. Where'd it go? Oh, there you are. You know how you sit out on your porch at night in the woods and you hear a I'm often hooting back at them. It could be a Tatari Moki. In ancient times, a small child died. They often weren't given a proper burial. It is said that these still infants, not yet developed spirits, hung around the house and could easily get stuck in owls. If a family experienced the death of a child and later found owls roosting nearby, they would honor it with respect and offerings. Sometimes the Tatari Moke owls possessed by spirits would protect the home. Should the spirit child or not have come to a violent end, they became capable of compelling powerful curses that affect the family for generations. The Tatari Moke are another example of yokai that have a close tie to living things. So when you're outside and you're looking at owls, I think I need to start looking to see if that thing's got an infant in the eye or not. That's both a sad one and could be a good one or a bad one. Yeah, that is a heart tugger. Yeah, because I mean I've been down that road, and I have owls out here all the time. In fact, broad daylight yesterday, I had one hooting at me close to the house. I was sitting there walking down the center drive, and all here is a whoo, 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 whoo. I'm like, wow, it's awful bright out for you to be out here. It's not close to dark yet. Because this happened somewhere around 12, 1 o'clock-ish time frame when this one happened yesterday. And I didn't even think about it till I was reading that. Is that what I'm dealing with? The unborn that was lost. Is it in an owl that's looking over my home? Now, we've already had one water yokai, but people don't realize there's different water yokais. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Now, this one here, I couldn't get the full image as well because it wouldn't fit on the screen. But I caught the reflection in the water of what this yokai is. And this is actually a female. And she's looking over the water, and her reflection is this yokai called the Keiru no Bayo. Did you know Japan has its own frog princess story? Though not as you might expect, the Keiru no Bayo are frogs that turn into human women for the purpose of getting married. Ordinarily, a marriage between a Keiru no Bayo and a human goes just fine. They are helpful around the house, despite being impressively frail and devoted partners. Owls are both good and bad. KHR. The Squatch used to let me know was there with a big baritone owl hoot when lived in. Yeah, I've had them shake. I've had owl calls that rang my eardrums and vibrated my body. This ain't what happened yesterday, but I've heard that out here on my property. So they were known to be devoted partners. Very, very, very devoted partners. However, if someone were to discover that their spouse was actually a frog, their marriage is just about guaranteed to end in ruin. Like foxes, selkies, and other legends of transforming women around the world, the Keiru no Bayo is a yokai that likely represents the all too human mistrust in marriages. So, ladies out there, are you a frog princess? Are you a Keiru no Bayo? Because we won't know unless you tell us or we see a reflection. Makes me wonder. So, Beans Roxanne didn't like the last one. This is another reason why I think Roxanne's been to Japan. So, I had to claim the last one. Roxanne can't get away from this one. Okay. Roxanne, you and your cats have been to Japan. I'm sorry. There's 2 cat things here now. 2. cat things, you've had to have been to Japan. My favorite aunt loved frogs. Hey, Bounty, I wonder if she was a frog princess. This thing here is the Nico Mata. You gonna claim this one, Roxanne? I'm more of a bear. You gonna claim this? I hope, Roxanne, you got to claim this one here. I mean, this one's right up your alley. Cat scratch fever. Watch out, Eric. Look to your window. In pop culture, the Nukumata are often depicted as cute in conspiracious cat yokai. In legends, however, the Nikomata is the strongest of the Bakiniko yokai, a malicious and ancient beast with a hatred for humans. They walk on two legs, can use corpses as puppets to do their bidding, and are known to start massive fires for fun. These beasts are to be feared, but fortunately, the oldest and most clever prefer to stay in the mountains. They grow to massive sizes and prey on wildlife, preferring to stay away from the humans they despise. Eric, like like the white fox with many. We might be talking about that one soon, Roxanne. So I posed this question last week. We did one on the werecats of Mesoamerica. Could this be a type of werecat in Japan? Because it makes you wonder. You know, it talks about walking on two legs. Although the werecats of Mesoamerica are known to be protectors, they're known to be violent if needed to be. Are the ones in Japan different? Could this be what we're looking at is a type of werecat? Or could it be like a dog man and it's feline 24/7? That's something to think about when we're dealing with these supernatural entities. And why I say, if you study these things from around the world, you're going to find out there is a lot of cultures that talk about the same thing. The werecats come to me for instructions. I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that. That doesn't surprise me. But I mean, this is, you know, I've said it so many times that these things are in cultures all around the world. We talk about the alien type of felines that come down that are felines 24/7. You know, we talk about the possibility of there's a feline species much like dogman that are that way. Riley's believe it or not. Wasn't that a TV show? If I remember right. But so, you know, is that what we're dealing with? Oh, Ripley's believe it or not. Okay. You know, are we dealing with an alien species that, you know, are the Japanese ancestors considered them yokai because of the way they acted and because they couldn't explain it? They didn't know they came from outer space. Or are we talking about the ones that are, you know, from this planet? And the fact that they didn't know that they were one of the first beings, so they called them yokai. I mean, I think these are possibilities. I could describe what these things, what, you know, the Japanese people were talking about with some of this stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying that's a possibility. That very much is a possibility of what they could be seeing. So I don't know what you guys think. That's up to you. But it definitely begs, you know, some looking into on these things. This next one we're going to get looking at. And I know, I guarantee you, just about everybody in here, if not everybody in here has done this, where they've been moving. Hey, Jason, where they've been moving and all of a sudden they felt like they hit something, but something's not there. Who all in chat's had that happen to them? I'll be honest with you, I've had that happen to me. I've been at a dead run. I felt like I hit a brick wall, but nothing was there. I'm sitting here in my bedroom listening and watching the show. Heck yeah, man. So I'm curious who all else has had that happen to them. You know, I'm not afraid to admit it. I've had it happen to me. It's embarrassing. You chalk it up as, oh man, I'm you know, I got 2 left feet, you know. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So if you've had that happen to you and you're too scared to admit it, I am not. But if you are, you very well could have. Oh, where'd you go? You very well, you had that happen often, Bounty? Hell yeah. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. You could have ran into this thing right here. And that's a Nuri Kaba. It happens to me a few times. Yeah. You could have ran into a Nuri Kaba. Imagine walking down your regular street after a long night out and suddenly you're no longer able to proceed. You're probably dealing with a Nuri Kaba. These yokai take the form of an invisible wall or suddenly appearing barrier, trying to go around or over or to knock it down, knock the structure down, will inevitably end in failure. However, if you tap the ground near it with a stick, the yokai will dispel, and you can continue on your way. In the anime Gigi Gitiro, a Nurikaba is depicted as a gray konyaku EQ wall and has been featured in a variety of merchandise. So I mean, that you could have ran into one of these. I mean, and like I said, I'm not too proud to admit I've had that happen to me. I've literally been at a dead run, and all of a sudden, bam! I fall to the ground, feel like I hit a brick wall. Is it just something that they explain away, not the one to admit that they're too left-feeted, or is it an actual thing? Both of it's possible. So, I mean, and it could be that explained it. I don't know. I never did physically see what I ran into. I just know it felt like I hit a brick wall. And there's these types of things out there that does happen. So the possibility of this being an actual yokai, very possible. Very, very possible. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are. Robin. This one's for you, Robin. The Mamashika. Fans of Japan and language learn properly, probably already know the kanji for horse and deer. When you put together, when put together, become a baka, a slang term for a foolishness or stupidly. It turns out those same kanji lend their other readings to the name of this silly yokai. The body of a depicted deer is topped with the long face and the horse. However, because you got horses, don't you, Robin, if I remember right? I may be wrong, but that's why I was thinking about you because of horses. However, it is just one-eyed and a single horn growing out of the back of its head. They are said to possess people and make them do silly things or otherwise embody the concept of foolishness. Hey, so you're back. One-eyed unicorn, yep. Well, I didn't knock myself down. I always say, well, do put on some reflectors, making noise. Sorry about trying to run you over, and I move on. But I was thinking you had, I couldn't remember, and I could be wrong, Robin, but I thought you had horses. Oh, okay, that may be what I was thinking of. I remember you talking about it one time. That's why I thought about this. But so this thing is known to, if somebody's acting a fool, that may not be them. It could very well be this dude right here. He could be possessed by Mama Shika. Shika. Mama Muma Shika. Daggone it. If I could speak today, we'd be doing good. So, I don't know. This next one, they caught a picture of me in Japan. Folks, I'm older than I realize. I did not know this. I must have had a memory loss, so I apologize. Apparently, I'm from Japan. Where did it go? The new peepo. A gross, lumpy wad of bulging flesh with rudimentary arms and legs. They wander around cemeteries and abandoned areas at night, terrorizing people with not violent tendencies or malicious curses. What? I had to read that wrong. No, okay. No, I did. I read it right. Terrorizing people with not violent tendencies or malicious curses, but good old fashioned BO. Old man Fluffy. Hey, Booger. I was sitting there giggling when I was reading this because Betty said, "Well, that's a little cutie," because I was waiting for the comments of this one. But with good old fashioned BO. These creatures are incredibly fast, able to outrun any warrior's attempt to chase them down and exterminate them. Their foul stench of rotten flesh and offensive appearance are nauseous, but they are otherwise harmless. It's even storied that if a stick person can keep down a few bites of the new peepo flesh, the curative properties are miraculous. So if you ever catch one, you're a skinny person that can't gain weight, and you're able to catch one and eat a couple things of its flesh, it's supposed to help you. I don't know if I want that or not. That'd be a tough decision, but I've never been in a situation where I'd have to consider something like that. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I just could I do something like that? It's hard to say. This one here, I could swear I've dated women like this one, and this is kind of bothering. But the Rokuro Kubi, man, that is a mouthful. I have dated some women that had some long ass giraffe necks, and now I'm seeing this going, crap. Could they be a Rokuro Kubi? Oh, poor dude. I'm not eating probably pour the coffee. Yeah. Yokai created by a curse, but not on the affected person. Only women become a Rokuro Kubi. These yokai are ordinary people by day, but as they sleep, their necks stretch and wander, attacking wildlife, lapping up lamp oil, and terrifying nighttime passerbyers. That's just a neighbor being nosy. Yeah. I want to state it also. Hey, Carl. Yeah. Unfortunately, the curse of the Rokuro Kubi is more often than not due to some sin of their husband or father. The Nukikubi is another or more dangerous variation of this yokai. In Nukikubi, the neck is detached entirely and the head flies around in search of blood. So you're seeing two different types of these things right here. This is the nice version. It was just cursed. Then you got the not so nice version, and that thing searches for blood. And that gives you, that tells you right there there's different types of yokai. We're only covering 30 of them today, in which I'm hitting my mark pretty good. Rubbernecking. Dude, that's rubbernecking on a whole new level, is what that is. So I was hoping to do 15 an hour. Looks like I'm going to be doing that. You sure that's not a woman with a unique way of satisfying? I can't say that, damn it, Urso. Could be. Hey, Candy. No, I can't go there. I can't go there. I cannot say that on YouTube. Damn it, Urso. Um, the Akai. To me, this looks like a whale. Could that be what, the Japanese ancestors not knowing what a whale was and seeing this? And because it's, there's a lot of reports throughout our ancient history of whales sinking ship. And could that be what this yokai stems from? I don't know. It's a possibility. It does make sense. I know if you look at a whale's flipper, it does have a humanoid type skeletal structure to it as far as a hand goes. And you're seeing something similar to that in this one here. Brown stingrays that can grow up to 12 kilometers in diameter, these massive ocean yokai were misinterpreted as islands by sailors. However, if a ship tried to dock on the stingray, they would soon find their vessel destroyed or sucked underwater by a massive whirlpool. Interestingly, these yokai were first reported in 1841. Yeah, it does, Roxanne. Probably born as a warning to fishermen, these creatures, like regular stingrays, spend most of their time on the seafloor, so it's only when they surface that sailors beware. So, to me, this looks like a whale. But I do know there are freshwater stingrays that are roughly 45 foot in diameter from wingspan to wingspan. So could that be what the ancient Japanese were seeing, was those freshwater type stingrays that do get that massively large? In fact, I can't remember that guy's name, River Monsters guy. He caught one, and its wingspan was 45 foot from wingspan to wingspan. So you get one of those things that can sink a ship. That is big enough to sink a ship, especially in ancient times. That is more than capable of sinking a ship. Could that be what they're seeing? Definitely possible. In fact, let me see. I might be able to pull up a picture of it. Give me a second here. If I can get this thing to do what I want it to do. Oh, you stupid thing. Come on. I would say it's probably actually a nice one. Yeah, probably. Hey, Joanne. Come on, you stupid computer. This one don't look near as big as that one that the guy on River Monsters caught. But this gives you an idea of how big some of these can get. If I can get it to load up. This one here has a 15-inch poison barb to it. Sorry, my computer's lagging big time. I'm waiting for it to do what I want it to do. Come on. This just gives you a rough idea at the size that some of these can get as soon as it pops up. It's lagging my computer like bad. That's not even the big as that one that guy on River Monsters caught, but that's a big dude. That's a big one. Yeah. Thanks, William. Good to see you, bro. But yeah, I mean, I remember that one that River Monster guy caught, and it was way bigger than this thing here. This one was actually caught where they could measure it. The one that the River Monster guy caught, it was bigger than his boat that he was on. So that gives you a rough idea how big some of these freshwater stingrays can get. Yeah, that is a huge pancake. Yeah, stuffed seafood stingray. Yeah, I mean that's fresh water, man. That's a freshwater stingray. I want to say River Monster guy was in India when he caught his. I could be wrong, but I think he was either in Singapore or he was in India. I can't remember where he was at. This was several years ago. He caught it. I mean, back when that TV was on. But he was either in Singapore or he was in Indonesia. But he caught one, and the damn thing was bigger than his boat. And he couldn't reel it in to shore to get a measurement on it. So, I mean, that kind of tells you a lot of stuff right there. This is perfect. We got through 15 of these for first hour. So it's time to do a commercial break. We're going to do some Dark Angel Medical. Go to the bathroom, top off your drink, whatever you need to do. Here we go.
He comes quiet, coat of crows, bread like winter in your nose. Foot of the bed, then polite, asking softly for your light.
You stare holes into the wall, hands like paper, helpless small. Every clock hand starts to shake. How much mercy can you take?
Call Dark Angel Medical, call him fast. In the shadows at your shoulder when you're fading black. When his fingers find your heartbeat, digging for control. There's a number in the silence, there's a lifeline for your soul. Call Dark Angel, call Dark Angel. She come running down the stairs, folder full of worn out prayers. He's already in the chair. Death just smirks and combs his hair.
Sign here, death says it's routine. Ain't river's cold and mean. Then the nurse kicks in the door. Boots like thunder on the floor.
Call Dark Angel Medical. Call him fast when the shadows at your shoulder, when you're fading black, when his fingers find your heartbeat, digging for control. There's a number in the silence, there's a lifeline for your soul.
You don't own me, you don't get the last word.
We've stitched by worse than you, you're just another curse.
Take your contracts, take your claws, take your empty little scroll.
We've got angels in lab coats guarding every fragile soul. Hey, call Dark Angel, call. Call Dark Angel, call. Call Dark Angel, call. Call Dark Angel. Call Dark Angel Medical. Call him fast when he's licking at your laughter, trying to drag you back. When his whisper fills the hallway, hungry for control. There's a promise in the panic, there's a hand to hold your soul. Call Dark Angel, call. Call Dark Angel, call.
That's actually funny, William, because I was trying to remember where that tune caught my attention from. You're right. The California Raisins. I missed that commercial. If you're looking for the best first aid kit or trauma kits on the market, look no further than Dark Angel Medical. I absolutely collect zero amount of money for advertising for this. I like his product so much that I asked Pocket Doc himself if I can advertise on my show his product, and he said yes. I carry 3 kits myself. I have 2 headrest kits, one in my work truck, one in my POV, and then I have a kit that clips to the side of my field pack. That's how much I believe in his product. Dark Angel Medical is the absolute very best on the market. You will not find one better than that. You pay for what you get. You know, they're not cheap, but you can use a credit card, FHA, HSA, and Sezzle to buy your kits. I've used Sezzle on 2 of them and my HSA on the other one. If you need to get recertified or certified, Kerry Pocket Doc Davis is a certified instructor. He can come to your job to help you get recertified. If you're wanting a quick update on how to do some proper first aid or trauma treatments, he does put videos out on YouTube and Instagram on Dark Angel Medical, showing you guys how to do it. If you use Cryptid 20, that's DA's code, you get 20% off. Go to Dark Angel Medical. You will not be disappointed. And he's the godfather of Kit for Life. If you use it to save a life, he will replace that for absolutely free. Or so. Coming soon, Pocket Doc bobblehead. Dude, that'd be funny as hell, wouldn't it? With a top hat monocle. Okay. So let's get back into our topic here of the yokai. How many of you guys have sat there and been up watching the TV, laying in bed, and all of a sudden your attention from the TV, it was taken to a door, or you woke up feeling like something was watching you, but you couldn't see it? You know, I've had that stuff happen to me, and I've had stuff come at me live when I've been on William's show. I'm not saying that happened is what we're getting ready to talk to next, but things that you can't explain indoors. You know, looking at a door and you just feel an evil presence. That's going to be what we're talking about next, folks. Let me find the image here real quick. All right, buddy, give me a second. I'm kind of busy. The Moku Mo Kurin. It's called a mother-in-law. Hell yeah. The Moku Mo Kurin. Naughty children may purposely or otherwise puncture holes and rip up or mangle a home's soji doors many times. These doors are made of long lasting but delicate paper, after all, and prone to damage if the doors aren't repaired in a timely manner or well kept. The homeowners risk becoming host to a moku mo kurin. Not since I was a kid. There you go, man. Yeah. They are more creepy than dangerous, but bring them unwanted bedfellows. The It is a yokai that manifests as eyes peeking or poking through holes in paper doors or observing homes going on, or the homes going on. In abandoned houses, they share their territory with more spiteful, haunted objects. Banny says that stuff happens while I'm awake. I'm probably too busy when I'm sleeping and notice. Yeah. So if you got a damaged door and you feel like you're being watched, you could have a Mokumo Kurin watching you through your damaged door. Another reason why you should repair that thing. There is one yokai that is a Ferris wheel. I think I've heard about that one. That sounds familiar, but don't. I could be wrong. Man, that does paper eyeballs. Got a little, yeah. You know, in them Japanese homes, their walls are made of that thin paper. I mean, it's more the traditionals, not the modern, but the traditional ones are. So, could that be that way to try to, scare a kid from poking holes in it? I mean, kids are kids, man. They're going to see that and think it's fun. I mean, there ain't a single one of us in here that hasn't done something similar to that. Where are you at? No, it's not that one. It's this one. The Tatsu. Tatsu, or Japanese dragons, are water-dwelling yokai similar to appearance to dragon of Western medieval lore. While many are benevolent creatures, um, you can see, sadly, I couldn't get the whole dragon in there, but if you look in front of that guy, he's looking down at the dragon. You can see the scales there. Many are benevolent creatures who respond to the prayers of humans. Others are terrifying beings inflicting terror upon humans. I wish I could have got this one better. Oh, Carl, you're the furthest thing from an angel, bub. The Tatsu has male qualities and is often paired with feminine phoenix-like ho-hos that symbolize yin and yang. In some forms, it is also capable of shape-shifting, such as a sea god, the Ryujin. According to legend, the Japanese imperial family is descendants from these dragons. Specifically, the daughter of Ryujin, who bore a son that later became the father of Japan's first emperor. Stay off my keyboard, Socks. Come on now. Give me a second. Let me drop this down as I continue reading. In modern day Japan, the Tatsu continues to be a. Come on, man. Socks. You're being a pain in the butt. A revered yokai. You sneeze, touch it. They can be found on the grounds of temples or shrines. Many festivals are held in celebration of these powerful beings, such as the Kiyomizu Temple, Shiryu Dragon Festival, honoring the dragon that drank the water underneath the main hall of the Kyoto Temple. So this is another type of yokai that is not known for being malicious. In fact, it is the that what we talked about before. A lot of bloodlines of emperors come from dragons. That's where the Japanese emperor bloodline comes from. Is from this type of yokai. Many people think yokais are all of them are mean, or they're people that was dead and came back to life, and that's not true. They're not all that way. You know, it's some of them are good. Oh, COPD, dude, that sucks. I am so sorry. Now, this next one we talked about may be better well known in Greek mythology. But you can see here, once again, another type of Japanese supernatural creature, a yokai, that has been very similar to supernatural beings of other countries. This one here is called a Korean. The Korean is a serene and majestic fire-breathing horned creature symbolizing purity, justice, and wisdom. It is about the size of an adult deer with dragon-like scales all over its flaming body. Its origins stem from Chinese mythology, and its powerful power surpassed those of the phoenix, like Ho Yu, and the Tatsu dragon. Interestingly enough, the Japanese word for giraffe is also Korean. Perhaps because the African animal shares similarities with the Korean. Horns, scales-like patterned skin, long legs. The Korean is also a mascot for the Japanese beverage company Korean. In fact, if you look closely at the image on the Korean product, you'll find that the Japanese symbols of the Korean embedded within its flowing mane. This one here looks a lot like a minotaur to me. And that's why it's saying it's got similarities in other cultures, especially the Greek one. Because this looks a lot like a minotaur, a bull, a dragon. I mean, all that combined into one. But I get what they're saying on the giraffe side of it as well. Stopped smoking years ago. Yeah, I know, man. I'm kind of glad I did. I'm really, really glad I did. But this one here is yet another type of yokai that is not evil. This is a yokai that was sought after for, many things. I mean, it was a good yokai. Purity, justice, and wisdom. So once again, shows you that not all yokais are evil. A lot of times, we're going to talk about this later on, there's a type of yokai that people mistaken other yokais as being. So when they talk about yokais being evil and stuff like this, it's a certain type of yokai we're going to talk about in a little bit. Small bites of easier food that can control you with your mouth a little better. Breathe small breaths before swallow, then small breath after, small breath before, in case you have a blowout. Trying to get better. I'm out of the ICU. Oh, I'm glad you're out of the ICU, man. That's good, Manisha. This next one is also something that we're very familiar with. And we talk about this type of creature quite often. I've done shows on this type of creature. William's done shows on this type of creature. William and I both have done shows together on this next type of creature. I'm going to let you guys look at it and tell me what it is before I get into it. And this is called a Ninji a Ningio. When you guys look at this, what do you see? Dang, allergies. And once again, another water yokai. What do you guys see when you see this image right here? There you go, Roxanne, a mermaid. So once again, merman. There you go, Manisha. Yep. Once again, we have a tie to mermaids, and this is the Japanese one. Forget whatever children's animated stories taught you about mermaids, because the Japanese Ninjio is no enchanting songstress. Rather, Ninjio are more fish-like than human in appearance, with golden scales, long fingers, and sharp talons. If one were able to successfully capture a Ninjio and feast on its flesh, they would be granted eternal life. You know, me and Williams talked about this multiple times about, these rich people eating mermaids. Could this be where they're getting that from? Prompting many foolhardy fishermen to attempt to capture one. However, if one is not successful in capturing a Ninjio, they may be cursed, or their entire village may be wiped away by a large wave. Likewise, to accidentally catch a Ninjio in one's net is also a harbinger of misfortune. So one must return any captured Ninjio to the sea immediately. Hell yeah, we are, Manisha. So, like I said before, William and I has talked about this many times about how rich people are eating mermaids. That's the thing that's been coming out about that. And here you're talking about in old Japanese cultures about them eating these mermaids to gain eternal life. But if you're not successful, then it's done. I mean, your village is wiped out, you're wiped out. You accidentally catch one, your village is wiped out, you're wiped out. It's not a good thing. So I mean, it's dangerous to capture these things, but if you successfully capture one, the reward is eternal life. Is that why these rich people and these famous people are doing that type of stuff? It fits well with what William and I have talked about before. Hey, Jessica, I don't know your guys' thoughts on that, and I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a tie to that? William, that fits in a lot with what you were saying. I'm really curious of what you guys think on that. I need to catch Jessica's show too. I missed it the other day. I've been fighting to get a vehicle running. Haven't caught too many shows. Why we got to capture everything? Yeah, I know, Bounty. Yeah. Just because we can eat it doesn't mean necessarily we should. Eat what you need to survive. It's the old Native American proverb. You don't hunt for more than what you need. You don't hunt more than what you need or less than what you need. You just hunt what you need. Is there really a need to hunt mermaids and eat them? I wouldn't want that chimera on me. Yeah, karma on me. Yeah. No kidding, Joey, and I wouldn't either. No. I mean, I wouldn't want to suffer its wrath. But once again, there's another depiction of ancient times of a mermaid. These next ones, they remind me so much of kabukis, and it makes me wonder. It seems to me that wealthy are stomping all over traditions. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you cold-heartedly on that. Kitty kisses, both of them. I get two of them now. I'm special. Whoops. So when I think about these, I think of kabukis. And that makes me wonder if the kabukis didn't get their symbolism from these. And these are the yashiki warashi. Ever feel like you're always misplacing your phone, glasses, or keys? Man, I do that crap all the time. You're not going crazy. It might all just be the work of a very cheeky yashiki washi. These yokai are mischievous pranksters that resemble human children though they are only visible to residents of a home. Unlike ghosts and other spiritual beings, they have to have washi yashiki warashi in one's home is a blessing, as they invite fortune and good luck. Once the presence of one has been confirmed in one's home, great care should be taken in order to them their by God they're living leaving out candles or food for them at night. Once again, a lot of similarities with a lot of our fae that we talk about here. That would probably give me dementia. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, this stuff happens all the time. So once again, food. We always talk about leaving out food and offerings to the fae. You're hearing, hey, Machete. You're hearing the same thing with these little guys too. Oh, that ain't good. Should one disappear from a residence for any reason, misfortune may befall the home and its residents. So you want these things in there. Even though they're jacking with you and they're pulling pranks on you, you want them in your home. And no, I've never heard of samurai frog magic. I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. So I don't know. What do you guys think on that one there? What's your opinion? You want them little fellers running around their house, even though they bring you good fortune, they're going to mess with you? I can take the pranks as long as I'm not late for work if they bring me good luck. This guy, Mr. Mythos, did a killer documentary on that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Even in Japan, I've never heard of that. Having an elitist barbecue. All right, bud, I gotta let you down. I need both my hands, bud. This next one we're going to talk about, folks, is yet again a similarity that we talk to about quite often. It's old school stuff. What is something that William and I have covered quite a bit on, and they're known as protectors, and they are natural, not magical. Stay off the keyboard there, socks. Having things in my house. I always have things in my house so they would have to not fight with the others. What is a creature known as the first being that William and I have talked about many a times? And they are known to being in my area just as much as Bigfoot is known as being in my area. I studied Chinese, Kung Fu, and Japanese. Cool. And this is yet again proof that these things are not just here in the U.S. and has been talked about in history. And I'm surprised nobody's caught on to it yet. So I don't have a dog in the fight, so I listen both. I'll find the picture. So you guys know me. It's not the Fae. It's not the Fae. I'm always talking about how we need to tie ancient histories in with the stuff we talk about nowadays. And I always say that every culture talks about these things and how they're natural beings and they're on every continent. When you look upon this, what do you see? That's all right, Chris. That's all right. When you look at this picture, what do you see? Jessica, if you're still in here, this is going to fit a lot with you talk about too. Now in good time, there you go. Yet again, another culture that's talking about what we nowadays call a dog man. And this is an ancient depiction of a Japanese dog man. In Japan, they're known as a yokai called a tanuki. The tanuki are the Japanese version of a dogman. They are living. Yep. Japanese raccoon dogs or tanuki are mischievous tricksters, often depicted with a bottle of snake rather than commercially large testicle. Oh, depicted with a bottle of snake rather than commercially large testicles and wearing the straw hat. Statues of these magical shape shifting creatures are typically found outside restaurants and bars, coyly inviting diners to drink, dine, and spend money. They call them Tinju in Chinese. There you go. There you go, Bounty. Yep. Some people say the gray, the little people, and the fairy are the same thing. Could be. The Tanuki is rivaled only by the Kitsune in terms of popularity and magical abilities in modern Japanese folklore. It is said that the Chingodo Shrine in Tokyo's historical Asukasa district is depicted to, or is dedicated to the Tanuki, as the presence of a Tanuki resides on its grounds and allowed it to survive the air raids of and its grounds allowed it to survive the air raids of World War II. Today, the shrine is an important place for people to pray for protection from fire and theft. Rakugo storytellers, the kabuki actors, and other entertainers also pray at Shingodo Shrine for success in the entertainment world. Yeah, speaking my language. Yeah. Another shapeshifter. Imagine that. Exactly. A lot of these yokai are shapeshifters. But once again, you have a dog man like creature in Japan's folklore. It's history. They are a type of yokai. So I mean, I always say it. I say it all the time. Read your ancient history when it comes to this stuff, because it's not just the United States that has these things. It's not just us, that it's not the native people that talk about these things. Every single culture talks about these things around the world. There you go again. Just like the Adlet race, yeah. Seems like dogman culture is pretty diverse. There you go. Yeah, Chris, it actually does. So I mean, we've seen it on a Pyrrhus map. We hear about them, the dog-headed soldiers in India. We hear about them in Roman mythology. I mean, we hear about this type of stuff all over the world. Once again, Japan, yet another one added to the list. There has to be something to these dogman-like creatures in order for in order for our ancestors to even talk about these things all across this globe. Now, this next one, y'all know my government name is making me paranoid. Oh, Dutch apple pie. Roxanne, the one you wanted to talk about, we're getting ready to talk about. So grab a big old plate of that Dutch apple pie, put you a scoop of ice cream on top of it, get your fork ready, because we're going about to talk about the one that you were asking about earlier. I might need to shapeshift a new YouTube account. Yeah, no kidding. I'm just, let me get the picture pulled up here. Possible descendants of the Nephilim? Could be. I mean, that's not something I subscribe to, but I can't tell you no. There you go, Roxanne. just for you, Roxanne. The kitsune, also known as the yako, most commonly known as the nine-tailed fox. This is one of your more popular of the yokai. Its true name is Kitsune Yako, most commonly known as the nine-tailed fox. Cunning, intelligent, and mischievous. The kitsune or Japanese fox are shape-shifting yokai similar in appearance to wild foxes. Kitsune fall into one of the two groups: spiritual beings that act as messengers to the gods, and wood-dwelling creatures that deceive and prank unsuspecting humans. Maybe the fallen watchers. There's no such thing. The fallen watchers. What's a fallen watcher? Are the source of the shape-shifting DNA that makes sense to me. You mean just the watchers? The fallen angels are completely different than the watchers. And that's talked about in the Bible specifically. There's a difference between watchers and the fallen. Is that what you're talking about, Chris? Is the watchers? Or are you talking about the fallen angels? I want to make sure I don't want to mix up. That's why I was asking. Because the watchers are the ones that mated with humans to create the Nephilim or giant, just word for giant is Nephilim. And the Nephilim brought upon war, deceit, hatred, dark magic, weapons, and stuff like that to humankind when the watchers mated with the women. Yeah, basically I thought, oh, no, they are completely different. The watchers are completely different than the fallen angels. The watchers were here on earth before the fallen fell. And it was them who mated with the women to create the Nephilim. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I thought so. I just want to make sure I was right because I didn't want to mislead you, bud. So thank you for clarifying that for me. Messenger foxes are associated with the Inari, the Shinto deity of the rice cultivation, who is also associated with prosperity. The Inari shrines, such as the famous Fusumi Inari Tashiya of Kyoto, are easily recognizable by their vermilion trolley gates and images of foxes. Wild kitsune, on the other hand, enjoy tricking humans and are even known to possess humans as well. They absolutely do. Roxanne, yes, I'm sorry, I'm reading a bunch of stuff at the same time. The Ojibwe language has some parables with Chinese language. Yes, they do. So these nine-tailed foxes, they can either be mischievous or they can be good. So you have to be extremely careful when you're dealing with these nine-tailed foxes. They get a bad rep as being bad, but it's not always the case. Lucifer and the 33 one-third of the angels were cast out of heaven by the Heavenly Father after rebellion. Yes. I know. I'm sorry, Roxanne. I was reading a bunch of comments at one time while trying to reply back to you as well. But yeah, these nine-tailed foxes get a bad rep, and that's because of the wild ones, the mischievous ones. Not all of them are bad. Like Tosomi and pronounced as Dosumi, yeah. The Tosomi, yeah. But these things, these nine-tailed foxes have a lot of power to them, and a lot of abilities. And in modern pop culture, they are depicted as being evil, and it's the wild ones that are. So you have to be extremely careful when you're doing this type of stuff. Like we've seen with other yokai, there's good and there's bad. It's the same with this one. There's good and there's bad. This next critter It is known, but easily forgotten. And is how you say Bawading is how you say Sioux at Sault Ste. Marie in Ojibwe, but it's spelled Boting. Yep, they must be a little mischievous. Yeah, I have nine tails. Yeah, I love the Japanese culture. I loved being in Japan. Kyushu, Japan was my favorite out of the three islands of Japan I've been to. Kyushu was the one I loved the most. This one here, the Yamanba. I gotta see. Oh, it's not popped up here. In the movie 47, Ronin has a nine-tailed fox that turns a beautiful woman but vicious. Yes. There's another one too. God, I can't remember the name of it, but she is known as a guide. She's a guiding the main character. The Ching and the Medicine Wheel are very similar. Yep. I wonder if Jimi Hendrix, Fox Lady, was really about Janis Joplin being like, yeah, it could be. From my research and studies, anyhow, that's just my theories. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. The Yamen Ba, these guys are interesting. Nearly 70% of Japan's total land area is mountainous, which means there's a pretty good chance you could run into a Yamen Ba. It's known as a mountain hag. What is a show that I covered recently that I said there could be ties to other cultures? I'm kind of curious who's been watching my shows. This is a very recent show I did about a couple weeks ago. Comes from the Genesis 49. Hey, Jeff, what's going on, buddy? New video being made here. Cat Don Wilder. I could be tripping. You guys remember when I did the show about the Baba Yaga? So remember my show about the Baba Yaga, and think about this Yamen Ba. Okay, I'll start from the beginning again. Nearly 70% of Japan's total land area is mountainous, which means that it's a pretty good chance you could run into a Yamen Ba. Means mountain hag. Okay, key word. Means mountain hag. All right, during your next hike, the Yamen Ba, also known as the Yama Yuba, resides in mountains and forests of Japan as recluses. They disguise themselves as kind elderly ladies, offering lodging and meals to lost and weary hikers before revealing their true identity as an evil witch once their unsuspecting victim is asleep. That is right up the Baba Yaga wheelhouse. Oh, did you? Guineas are good protectors, and they're really good at eating ticks and stuff too. Oh, the scary old lady. Yep. Yeah, Brandon. The Baba Yaga. In the 1990s and the early 2000s, the term Yamen Ba was once used in a derogatory manner to describe an extreme adherence of Shibuya Gyaru fashion. However, these trendsetters proudly reclaim the word as means to celebrate their devotion to dark tan skin, bleached blonde hair, and frosted eyebrows. Man, I've got more ticks on me than I know what to do with, Chris. I've never had this many ticks on me in several years, and I eat a lot of garlic. Ticks are bad this year. So this is, to me, I could be wrong, but this Yamen Ba sounds a lot like the Baba Yaga. Old hag, lives in the woods, preys on lost people. Baba Yaga was the same way. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's why I said there's other supernatural beings out there that fit the description of the Baba Yaga. It says not just in Russia or Slavic lands. The Slavic lands just call her Baba Yaga, also known as the Old Woman of the Woods, their grandmother of the woods. Once again, mountain hag, Yaman Ba, mountain hag. I mean, I could be completely wrong on this, folks. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that what I'm saying is accurate, and this is the Japanese version of the Baba Yaga. Too many coincidences, though. Too many familiarities. Have reported box found in their fields filled with ticks. I've heard that a lot too, and that either A could be true, but a tick is going to climb in a box really quick. So if somebody dropped the box, I mean, it's not out of the possibility of ticks being in it. But I'm not saying that they ain't dropping it either. But I've pulled more ticks off me this year than I have the last 7 years combined. And I just pulled 3 off me during the show. This is another semi-popular one. Some of you have probably heard this one. Some of you have not. Yeah, no kidding. And that's the Yuki Una. Japanese Alps are home to some of the country's most scenic winter towns, including the thatched roof farmhouses in the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Shirakawa Go in Gifu Prefecture. However, take care when a heavy snowstorm approaches because it could mean that a Yuki Una is not far away. These yokai are deadly beauties with long black hair and skin as smooth as white and white as marble, killing their victims with an icy kiss of death. Yuki Una, however, are known to fall in love on occasion. Though in these accounts, the unsuspecting husband discovers his wife's otherworldly roots after years of marriage to an ageless being. In other versions, the Yuki Una melts away after soaking in a hot bath at her husband's insistence. Yeah, I believe so, William. Yeah. So here is another supernatural entity of cold. You know, our version is deadly, yes. At least this version is known to occasionally take a husband. Yeah, Chris. In some ways, it does, but it's been known to take a husband. So, I put I minced garlic and put it in my homemade ramen too. So you have to be careful with these things, man. They're out there, and they're known to these Yuki Una are known to kiss and steal the life force of humans. That's how they kill you. Yes, yeah, we still got. I still got 6 more to go through, so we'll have to pick it up a little bit here. This is I'm going to mess this name up, folks. In fact, let me highlight it and put it in the chat. Maybe, if it'll let me. Come on, quit lagging. Gosh, this computer is lagging so freaking bad, man. There he goes. The Shui Gumo. The Chuchi Gumo are enormous spiders that can grow to an incredible size, large enough to take an entire army. In fact, the term Tushi Gumo is used in historical documents composed during the Warring States period to refer to rebel factions. These yokai is also a formidable and deadly foe. The 14th century scroll, the Teshu Gumo Soshi, is a riveting tale of the battle between Minamoto no Yorimitsu of the Fujiwara clan and his epic battle with this yokai. In some versions of the legend, Minamoto battles the shape-shifting woman who reveals herself to be a monstrous Gumo with a belly full of baby spiders ready for battle. And this is the picture of that telling of that epic right there. So these things they're the giant spiders. And when we've talked about it so many times about giant spiders and sightings of giant spiders. And here you are in old Japanese folklore with their yokai having these type of creatures as well. Go Power Ranger. Yeah, no kidding. This next group we are familiar with, but you probably don't know about them. But I guarantee you, most everybody in here, if not everybody in here, has seen the mask of these type of deals. Sounds similar to samurai frog magic. Possibly, man. I have no clue what samurai frog magic is. I've never heard of it, even when I was there. So, man, I'll have to take your word for it because I have no clue. The Tengu. A lot of us have seen these masks, and these are a type of yokai, but we are more familiar with these masks in their Tengu. The Tengu is one of the best known types of Japanese yokai, often entwined with stories of mountain spirits and forest dwellers. The Tengu has a long history of appearing in multiple ancient texts and adopting various images and representations until its basic form was settled in medieval period. I forgot to go to the chat. I got to pop that back up. Thundercat there. Yeah. My grandpa used to tell me about spiders as big as dogs in Okinawa. Yeah. Yeah. The 18th century iron mask above displays the most recognizable and contemporary depiction of the Tengu. On the left, beside the older one, more traditional representation on the right. Contrary to its original portrayal, the new Tengu is unfeathered and unbeaked. It is no longer a monstrous bird, but an almost anthropomorphic being. So the one there, that is the traditional one. This is the bird one that they talk about quite often. That is the modern one. Could those human-looking spiders reports be real? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, William. I mean, it makes you wonder when they're even talking about it in old Japanese cultures. So I mean, how many of you have seen these masks that I'm talking about? Because I guarantee a lot of people seen these masks and not realize what it actually is. I think this next one's going to make William happy. And I'll just give you a hint. It's another water one. Oh, I got to hurry up. I still got some more of these to do. Let me pop it up here. Where'd you go? 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 There you are. Yet again, another water one. The Kappa. This is another pretty well known yokai. The Kappa is a green turtle like humanoid with webbed hands and feet and a carapace on its back. Atop its head is a dish like indentation filled with water, which the Kappa balances carefully. It is weakened in the content. It is weakened if the content of the dish is spilled. The boundary between Kappa and other kinds of creatures is blurred, but as the case with most Japanese yokai, its name is suggestive. Lying between the known as the unknown, a yokai is named after its impression it leaves or after it is reported characteristics. Since the kappa is a child sized and lingers around rivers, its name is mere combination of the words child and river. You've seen these, Candy? There you go. Oh, the little sad ones by the rivers. Yes. Ninja Turtle. There you go, William. Seen them a couple times. Have you? I didn't know that. The 19th century Netsuke carves out the fundamental features of the kappa. It is scaled, short arms, and its sharp, long claws were once widely feared, but now the aged kappa is viewed with a certain humor and mockery over its childlike physique. The kappa has a mullet. Yeah. It does, don't it? It's like an alpha and a reptile mixed. Hell yeah. That was a bad toga party night. So these kappas were feared at one time. They're not now. People laugh about it now. But the original tellings of these kappas were feared. This is once again, are we making a mistake? And that's why so many accidents are happening, because we've lost the fear and respect of these types of supernatural creatures. In this case, a yokai, a kappa yokai. I've actually never heard of these. Oh, I'm actually surprised on that, Brandon. Yeah, these kappas are very famous. Kappa Kambana. Yep. That actually sounds familiar. They could be a mistaken entity. Yeah. Is it a type of lizard person or a reptilian? Could be. I mean, these are very specific about being turtle-like. Very, very specific of being turtle-like with the shell and everything. In old text, it talks about how they chase people and try to unalive them. In modern times, they're depicted as friendly. So be very careful when you're dealing with these type of supernatural entity, folks. Don't just go think or believe in what somebody says. Do your research of the supernatural entities in that area. I cannot stress that enough. Next one we're going to talk about is the Yuri. If the realm of contemporary Japanese horror could be encapsulated by a single yokai, then that yokai would be the Yuri. It's known as a ghost. That is the Japanese word for ghost, the Yuri. A Yuri often resembles her former self her living self, but in a death is pale-skinned, arms dangling uselessly by her side. A Yuri is depicted in a white kimono, a burial gown used in Edo period funeral rituals. Her long black hair is let down as tradition demands before the burial ceremony. When renowned woodblock artist Utagawa Toyoko Kuni illustrated the picture in 1812 to accompany the tale of the horror from the Yotsuya station on the Tokado Road. He masterfully provided us with what has become the definitive depiction of a Yuri. Toyoko Kuni's influence can also be felt through the works of his students, in particular the Ottawa Kinyushui shared his master's fascination with Japanese monsters and demons. Find out why the was the most they were the most. Anyways, yeah. We got two more to go. People are not paying close enough attention to much anymore. Yeah, Candy. Yeah. My question would be, what did the people do? I wonder if they lived in the oceans in that old ruins underwater. Yeah, I don't know. The Kappa, they always depicted as being in the river. That's interesting. I'm going to look. Yeah, I mean, these things are all. So, this next one, because I'm running out of time and I've still got two more to do here, so I got to rush through these real quick. This next one is the one that most people, when they fear yokai, the reason why they fear them is because of this one here, and that's the uni. The uni are the very bad ones, okay? The word uni has a long history. It has first appeared in ancient 8th century texts, the Kojiki records of ancient matters, and the Nihon Soki chronicles of Japan. The descriptions of oni have changed dramatically over time, to the extent that scholars find it difficult to assess the constitutes as a typical depiction of this creature. In the 19th century painting, the yokai is portrayed as a large ogre-like beast with a frightening face. Yet here in a sculpture from I didn't save that picture. They retain their ogre-like features, but although they're pictured with horns and fangs, they have become far more anthropomorphic. Their facial expressions are no longer as brutish, and they seem almost gimmicky with their overpronounced noses and brows. These oni are extremely dangerous, folks. These oni are known to prey on human. But yet again, we have another incident of somebody taking something bad and changing it to fit their narrative. I cannot stress enough how important it is to not do that. You are causing harm to people by doing that. The last one is the Ijin. The Ijin are people from what is called Ikai, a world that is beyond our own. They are outsiders that have crossed the boundary that stands between two separate worlds, often to complete a task. While there are many types of Ijin, some pleasant, others malicious, most are said to be harmless. These types range from religious figures to craftsmen to beggars and pilgrims. The Dayakoten is in this early 12th century painting example of a benevolent Ijin. He is often described as Japanese equivalent to the Hindu deity Mahakala, and as a god of wealth. The painting above shows the typical expression of a Daikokuten which his beaming smile and exaggerated gigantic ears. He holds a golden mallet which grants the child good fortune. The yokai world is vast, and although it becomes more popular than ever, it is easy to get lost in the repackaging of the Japanese yokai culture to charm modern audiences. Today, there is a remarkable progress in the realm of the yokai scholarship in Japan. So there has never been a better time to explore the history of the escapable and find out what your self what really is a yokai. Oh gosh, I can't even speak. Okay, bam. I mean, we're already going over, but that's fine. I want to leave time for you guys to ask any question. Just looks grumpy and mischievous and should probably be left alone. Some of them are. Come on, man, work for me. Seems to me people are not paying close enough attention to much. Oh, yeah, I already read that one. Looks like it can fly with its ears. Yeah. all better to hear you with, my dear. A lot of these yokais are good, but a lot of them are bad. And the fact that modern culture is depicting these very evil yokai as good is very, very dangerous. They're evil for a reason. They're not changing because you want them to change. They're not changing because you want your numbers to go up because so you clickbait it and call them good. They're not changing because you want your numbers to go up to get more viewers to watch your TV show. Some of these yokais are extremely evil and dangerous, and you have to be aware of that. Discovering the unknown will be live soon. Cool. With that being said, I know we're going over. I've got through all 30 of the ones that I wanted to cover. Once again, I want to get a shout out to Japan Objects because they're the ones that was providing me with the list that I needed to go through tonight. My computer's glitching bad, so things are being real slow. Has anybody got anything they want to ask or talk about when it comes to these yokais? Come on, you stupid computer. Another hour at 9 p.m. Central Time. Please hit the. I don't think there's. I got to get up early in the morning because we're milling some roads in the morning. Paving season has started, so even though I'm technically off tomorrow, I'm not because I got to go to work. So, but I love Japanese culture. I really love Japanese culture. It is an amazing culture full of honor and respect. Hey, main house. So, I encourage you guys look into this stuff. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm waiting for it to pop up here so I can see you sent that. Thank you, Candy. I appreciate that so much. With that being said, if you're a members only on my YouTube or a paid member to my Patreon, I did release Chapter 2, Unwanted Guest of the Orkney Night. That is available on there on the video. It is narrated. I did it differently than the first one. I actually have different people's voices for each of the characters, and a different voice for the storyteller. So if you're a members only on my YouTube or on my Patreon, go check that out and let me know what you think. With that being said, peace, love, and blessings to every single one of you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Did you get your email? I can't wait to see you guys next week. I'll be gone through most of this week. I got to go to Jeff City for 3 days, but I'll be back by the weekend. But if the weather hits and they can't pave, I'll be working this weekend. Yeah, I love my cast fire and Jeff. So With that being said, peace, love, and blessings to everyone. Thank you again for coming. To my new subscribers, to my OGs, I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are awesome. You come listen to this old hillbilly talk. Shout out to my my mods, Roxanne, William, Jeff. I appreciate them guys helping me with that. I apologize that the codes ain't working. I've not figured out why they ain't working. I've played with it so much. I just don't know why. But still, you guys help out, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for that. If you guys catch the show later on, you got questions, leave it in the comment. As soon as I get a chance to answer it, I will answer it. I always reply to the comments as long as I see them. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody.
Step into shadows where whispers hum. The air is thick where the strange things come. Behind the curtain where the fearless go. Welcome to the bizarre and the unknown. Dare to tread where the darkness hides. Through the cracks of the world's thin sides. Join if you will take the dare. Where we learn of things that scare. Masks and riddles play their game. Nothing here will stay the same. The air is heavy, the lights are low. Where secrets linger and shadows grow. The walls may shift, the ground may quake. It's a risk you take when the unknown wakes. Your pulse will race, your breath will freeze in this realm of uncanny mysteries. Dare to tread where the darkness hides. Through the cracks of the world's thin sides. Join if you will take the dare. Where we learn of things that scare. The bizarre wears a wicked grin. Its world pulls you slowly in. But once you're here, you'll